All right, I'm gonna make a quick, very unprofessional video of lining up a race car. We run a lower division at South Boston Speedway. It's pure stock. Not everybody's got access to high-end alignment equipment. What we do is we string the cars and we take our measurements off of the string. I've got a string line set up here now. Before you actually begin the stringing the car, so that you can set your alignment, rear steer, stuff like that. There's some things you need to do before you actually get to the point of stringing the car for this part. One of the things we do is bi-spot tires, these Hoosiers, they can have high spots. A high spot can throw you off. I've got this one set up right here to show you how I check the high spot. Once again, different ways you can do this. This is just the way we do it. You'll look right here. All I've got is stand, camber gauge set up. I got the point touching. Right now, it is at the high spot, but if you notice as I roll the wheel, see the gap open up? Now, as you go around and around, that gap's there. But I happen to reach a spot on this particular tire where the gap gets really tight right there. So what I've done, I've marked it. That's going to be my high spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this to the top. I want that high spot to be at the top. When I string the car, I want to be sure that that high spot on all four tires, if it has a high spot, is at the top. That way I don't get a false reading on my string. Once you've done that, next thing you do, you've got to have your camber settings set first. We're allowed 6 degrees on the front at South Boston. So, looks like I'm running about 5.5. That's about all I run on the front. If I run 6 degrees, the tire gets a little hot on the inside. On the rear of the car, we're allowed 1.5. And so I'm set, yep, 1.5. If you don't set the camber first, what's going to happen is camber changes toe. That's in the front and the rear of the car. So if you go string the car and then go, I got to set the camber and set the camber, it's going to change the toe. Camber's got to be set first, and then you can set toe. I've got this string strung out between 2 jack stands, roughly middle way of the tire. I want to always start with the right-hand side first. I want it barely touching. We're barely touching up here. Barely touching at the rear of the tire, and I'm barely touching at the front of here. So the car right now is true with this string coming down, and then now I can see the gap at the rear. That's my rear steer. That's how much rear steer I have in the car to help the car rotate. At South Boston, we're allowed 1/4 inch of rear steer. I use a metal ruler with measurements on it here. So let me see if I can get lined up. I'm a little fat, so I would need to tighten this up. So what I'll do is I'll tighten this up and I'll be right back. All right, made my adjustment. You're going to notice the string has come off of this front side just a little because of the adjustment. So I'm going to take this jack stand and I'm going to adjust the string back to barely touching right there. I'll take my measurement again. And we're dead on 1/4. We're not fat or past it. So this side's good. I'm still true with the front. I got my 1/4 inch of rear steer in the back. The driver's side's a little different. You don't have to have them barely touching in the circumstance we're doing. I can have this all the way out here, and because this wheel, the left rear, is going to be angled with rear steer to the right, my gap's going to be at the front of the tire, so I can just pull the jack stand around till I got good tension. It's going to be touching there. It's going to show my rear steer gap here. I could do the same at the front because I run a little bit of toe out. Once again, I could have it out here I could just push the jack stand all the way around. It's going to show my toe at the front of the car and my toe or rear steer at the rear of the car. So if I get my ruler, I'm going to check this rear steer here. I need to add a little bit of rear steer because this one is slightly shallow. I like to run about an 1/8 inch of toe out in the front. As you notice, my other side is square. So all the toe out is showing on this wheel. Once I were to center this, it would be a 1/16 of toe out on each side. All right, I'm bigger than an 1/8, so I'm gonna need to tighten this up. I won't bore y'all with that. I'm gonna tighten it up, get it strung out. Just wanted to do a quick video. If you're wondering what's the easy way to string a car, best way I've seen so far that doesn't require a huge amount of complication. We have to check these adjustments after every race. Car can change. These 240s, they got a lot of control arms and stuff. Stuff moves, stuff tweaks a little. So it's a good idea to check your alignment every race, every race. That's it, all I can think of.